Google Hangout. I'm Sarah Hart. This is David John Sponheim. He's actually running for President of the United States.
Yeah, I lost by big signs, 5 of them in our previous election in the primaries, which really hurt my campaign. I dropped.
Yes, David was running for Washington State House. And he got 4,000 votes. I think that's something to be proud of.
We were basically sabotaged, and they cheated. The Democrats and Republicans cheated, and it really was a good acid test or litmus test.
This is David John Sponheim. He's actually running for President of the United States. Oh, let me...
Yeah, I lost by big signs, 5 of them in our previous election.
There we go.
And we're seeing that the tactics of the two parties are so dirty at this point. They're so desperate to hold on to the power that they have that they'll do whatever it takes to keep a guy like me down. Because I basically am an average American saying to all the people I can, hey, we got a real problem on our hands. I wouldn't have done a blackface video in 2008 committing what many people think was political suicide if I didn't think it was the only way to get noticed when the mainstream media is controlled by big moneyed interests. People like Rupert Murdoch and others, George Soros, have huge control over our media. They will not allow a third party to form, and you'll notice that people, even on the fringe, like Alex Jones, don't even ever talk about a third party. We're dealing with a very corrupt group of political sickos that are controlling our country and putting us in a very, very tough situation as people, just surviving. They're pushing us into wars around the world. They're engaging with countries that we don't need to engage with. We don't need to have an enemy out of Russia. Russia happens to be the only supply line we have left into Afghanistan. So while Barack Obama is pulling back troops in Afghanistan, he's doing it because he's ruined relations with Russia. We're basically screwing up all over the place. Now, we wanted to make sure that Afghanistan had a good, solid economy. We didn't want to let them turn into the biggest opium producer in the world, now providing cheap opium all around the world to young people. We want people to be accountable. And I don't think Barack Obama has even addressed that issue once in the mainstream media about how opium is increasing so dramatically so that it's cheap on the streets and people are overdosing on it. So our actions around the world are really shielded from the American public. What the CIA is doing to create Sunni strongholds, training them in Jordanian training centers for ISIS forces, goes completely opposite to what Barack Obama is going to have to do this week when he executes an air raid, which he should have done 6 weeks ago. All right, I don't do any drugs, thank you. Utah Dave, Putin has never been more angry than he is right now. He's facing what seems to be an attack by the EU and the IMF and the World Bank. When you look at our enemies around the world, they're not real enemies, they're just contrived. We don't have an enemy in Russia. They're good people in Russia. We don't have an enemy with Vladimir Putin if we don't want one. Obama's creating an enemy. And your mindless support of Obama, all of you Democrats, has led to this foreign policy without any checks and balances. That's the best way to describe it. No one in the media hears about my position on the enlarged opium products coming out of Afghanistan. No one gets a chance from the average American, pool of average Americans, to even speak in the media. So this is a totally controlled world we're living in where they tell you you're free and democratic. You're not. Our nation is hardly free and hardly democratic. When I put my best foot forward, I ran a really strong campaign. I even ran up to 500 TV commercials, 483 TV commercials. I got over 4,000 votes. And I'm sure that I'm going to put a dent in Rick Larson's campaign, even if I am a write-in, because people know who I am now. But I'm going to take that and keep moving it forward because this is a time, we have no time to lose to move forward toward a 2016 third party. There's no other way around this. Well, you think Putin is bluffing? I agree up to a point, Knight. Yeah, Knight Fox. I think it could be a little bit of bluff, but you know, he's grandstanding in order to make sure he understands we are at nuclear parity. Now, Obama moves forth in such a way that he doesn't seem to care about nuclear parity. Remember in his 2007 primary, he said that, well, we're going to go ahead and invade Pakistan and go after Osama bin Laden. I don't think he did. I think he actually put us in a terribly vulnerable position, And we never even got Osama bin Laden. I don't believe May 2nd, 2011 marks the death of Osama bin Laden. We never saw his dead body. We never saw a picture of his body being thrown overboard. We never saw or heard about any DNA evidence presented, other than they claimed this and that. So the American people are going to have to take the reins and get this country back. This is no good. You don't like the new look? The graveyard in the background symbolizes the death of all the men who died fighting for Fallujah, which, by the way, we no longer have control over, thanks to Barack Obama. Yeah. This is the deal. Obama is not a rational person. He's a reactive person. He doesn't seem to have any new ideas. He's full of reactiveness. He reacts to people. He has an ego battle with a world leader over our nation's security. These are the worst things you can do as a leader. He lets 52,000 young illegal aliens, kids, come into our country with contagious diseases. Forcing the House to sign a bill? I mean, seriously, you don't jeopardize the American people with contagious diseases and illegal aliens in order for the House to sign a bill? That's the worst misuse of executive power I have ever seen in my life. Well, I'd wish they'd voted for anybody, Mad Dog, at this point, other than Obama. I didn't like Mitt Romney. I think he's corporate. I think he's part of the corporatocracy. I believe the real problem is we don't have a people's person as president. We've got a lot of paid pundits that stand around grandstanding and posing and reading off a teleprompter. We don't have a person who speaks impromptu like I do every night on our show. We have a guy with Obama who just reads off the teleprompter, and you can tell he's weakening under the pressure of being a liar. You can only be a pathological liar so much before the gray hairs start popping out. Rodney, thank you. My ego is not too big, I can assure you. I can work with Congress. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I don't want to pass legislation because I can't as a president, number one. And number two, my ideas will be implemented through the executive branch solely to promote the security and economic growth of our country. The concept is simple. America starts producing things.
There, see, we're right there.
Oh, good, great, excellent. We're on Hangout on Air. Thanks for coming in. America can produce things, but all the corporations in America care about is profit. So they want to go overseas and exploit labor and pay people $1 a day to kill the environment. Meanwhile, the environment gets sicker and sicker, and all of you are not stupid. You see that we're getting worse and worse, and you come in the room and you wonder, what are we going to do about this, David? Well, I care about nature probably more than anything in the world, besides human beings. I believe that nature is our resting place where we need to actually make it better. But I think Homo sapiens have made it worse, and it's time to start reversing that and looking at the big picture. We don't all need to become multimillionaires. We don't need little Mark Zuckerbergs running around with printed money that came out of thin air. We need a nation that actually spreads opportunity among the people, not based on color like it does now with affirmative action, but on just opportunity. Let's double the size of Pell Grants, and let's get kids a job right out of college, or better yet, let's give them certification programs, 6-week to 6-month certification programs to get a $25 an hour paid job. That's the way to start nurturing and helping our economy grow. And for all intents and purposes, we must stop regulation on small business. I am a victim, Rodney, just like you are. We're all victims here. AccuWeather Forecast predicts many polar vortexes for the United States. Godlike Productions. Damn straight, Night Fox. Thank you. What about Sarah? Where does she fit in? Sarah is going to be running for vice president with me. And if you can't have a female vice president in your mind, there may be a replacement. If we do gain popularity by 2016, somebody might pop up and say, hey, I'd like to get my name in there, and maybe it could be a very important person like Donald Trump. Sarah probably would see this as an opportunity for she and I to get married and to be the first lady. I'm not saying I'd want a party with Donald Trump. I'm thinking we need people who are in the system right now who are willing to step up and make the necessary moves to improve the nation. I know Donald Trump is a true patriot. I can tell you just by listening to all the work he's done investigating Obama's birth certificate, not to mention Sheriff Joe Arpaio, both of them have worked hard on that. These people are trying. I mean, I would open my door to a Democrat or a Republican as well. Anyone could join my administration. We don't want to drive a wedge between the country. We want to unite the country. Well, at this point, viral, the president is nothing more than a yes man for Congress. America has become obese and perhaps stupid. But no, what you are, sir, is an anarchist. Our economy is not as destroyed as you think, and what you are is a brewing anarchist. There's two people being born today, anarchists and apathists, people that are just so apathetic they could care less about having government. But then there's this third movement we call the centrist movement of people that are finding common ground and realize that the way to get out of this is to build a new political party and challenge this two-party structure. It's that simple. We're not negativists. We're not cynics like you, Viral, and want to just hide in a little hole. We want to actually improve the situation and provide opportunity for people. North Korea isn't laughing. They're actually starving to death. I don't know how many people are laughing while they're starving to death, unwanted man. They're really poor. Dave, your 5 big signs are at the landfill. I know. I was wondering where they were. Thanks. I'll go. Well, you know, better yet, I got 50 more new big signs coming, so don't worry. I've already ramped up production. We're going to start the write-in campaign against Rick Larson, and it's going to be big. You guys are going to be out real hard, running around town, knocking my signs down and breaking them down, because I'm going to have little video cameras in the woods looking at you, and we'll know exactly who you are, and then we'll press charges. But just hang in there. Pretty soon you'll be at King County Detention. Keep it up. Each sign cost us our time and labor. We built this stuff with material we had. We bought a discount, like at Home Depot in the scrap lumber area. But now I'm going big time. I'm going to be building a lot of signs, and I'm going to be pushing this really hard because no one steps on me, cheats, and pushes me to 3rd place because they're cheating and gets away with it. And because the state of Washington is so lame, they don't have any place of real grievance. The Secretary of State doesn't want to do their job. We don't have any accountability. So I'm going to make sure these people essentially are going to, you know, see me pop up again. I'm doing everything legal. They were discount signs, Rodney, yeah. I hear you guys. Well, you can make up all kinds of stories. They don't see me coming, Utah. No. I've got another plan. I'm going to be running a lot more TV commercials to explain the wrong that went on during the campaign. And I'm telling you, there have been a lot of wrongs in this campaign. Democrats, Republicans, both yanking my signs. The big one we had in Dave Hayes' area, we worked hard on, we worked 5 hours on, that was just stripped away the day we put it up. I believe it. It's amazing how many people hate anyone who challenges their corrupt order. And I'm amazed that you people don't realize how important it is to really get behind a third party right now and start sending in donations. You seem to think all of this is going to go away. It's not. The Illuminati wants to break up the country. They want to create multiple parties, too, to kind of confuse things. So I wouldn't doubt that somebody's going to come up with a 4th party or a 5th party. No, I was a Democrat. No, I'm not a I would be seen as a progressive libertarian now. I was a Democrat. I prefer Democrats still as a major party. I don't know of another major party that I prefer. Why do I ban Ed? What's Ed doing? Ed, did you clear that link? Okay, thanks, Ed. Oh my God. You're worthless, dude. Get out of the room. Yeah, Ed, this is not, no, we're a nation state. We support a nation state model. I'm just running for president, and I'm currently going to be running for a U.S. House of Representatives now. I'm shifting gears. I'm going to take on Rick Larson as a write-in candidate. I know, I didn't take Sarah to McDonald's. I was looking for attractive hefty bags in the area, and she found this, which is a lot more pretty, I think, than a hefty bag. And it beats a burlap sack, too, I think.
Should I just take it off?
No, I like it. It's kind of cute. What does it look like underneath?
It looks, like I said, it's a spaghetti strap dress.
Oh, it's a little too revealing, Rodney. You wouldn't want to see that.
Yeah.
It might ruin your fantasy. Yeah, we want to allow your fantasies. David, you're looking good, too, man. And no, I'm not gay. Well, thanks. I try to keep myself in a pretty fit way. And by the way, take a baby aspirin or something, guys. You know, they say that aspirin is a miracle drug. I bought a big box of big thing of 325 milligrams today. It cost me $2.69. I of course got a discount. And I can tell you that aspirin, they found, is the best blood thinner for your heart that you can possibly take. It's the little known fact that people don't tell you. Potassium's good too, making sure your B12 level is up. Should I put a trash bag on? Really? I wonder if I have.
I think this looks like a trash
No, I
bag.
think it's kind of cool. Do we have anything gossamer like that? We could both be space age tonight. I'm on the fish oils. I just had about a half a pound of Pacific salmon and a half a pound of Atlantic cod.
Oh, that cod was so good.
Oh, God. That was beer battered cod. It was unbelievably good. I said to Sarah, this is beyond good. This is the best cod I've ever had.
Thank you. 4002 says we are very well grounded in sound principles for a better way forward. I agree.
I'm glad you guys are seeing that. You know, we've never really deviated from our original platform, and our concepts are pretty simple. Originally, we wanted to reinstate the assault weapons ban on guns, but I've changed my mind on that. I don't believe it's something the government can actually do. We don't have a lot of funding to create more bureaucracy, and the Democrats have proven that all they do is create bigger government. We don't want to create more regulations. We don't want you to go to gun training classes and anything like that. The only thing I want is a registration period of at least, well, an instant verification period. All we really need is an instant verification period online. You can pay ATFM or alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and marijuana, or marijuana and firearms, however you want to put it. You could pay them, the new agency I'm going to be forming, a $10 fee to just verify if somebody's a registered gun offender or a capital criminal or a psychotic who's expressed a danger to others and himself. That would be a one-time only charge per transaction.
Oh no, Alpha Dog. You're still able to chat and you're getting the blue screen?
I know, Chucklehead. And look at how Obamacare rolled out. It's still not even functioning. It's unbelievable. Bish is back. Oh, the real Bish. Hello, everyone. It's me, your favorite person ever. Wow. Why do people like Bish so much? I've never met you, Bish. Bish, you're a trip. Got a lot of followers here, Bish. 2 people I know took 1 aspirin a day. They both had posterior nosebleeds. One almost died from... No, I didn't say 1 aspirin. I said a baby aspirin. Were they taking a baby aspirin? Seriously, guest 845. Because the 325 I only take once every couple, 3 or 4 days. I like the 325 because it kind of makes me feel a little wild and crazy kind of guy. Like Steve Martin.
So you used to have one with 3 H's as well, Bish?
Okay, well, to be honest, 845, thank you. I appreciate it. 1 baby aspirin, they say, is doable for older people. Is all you need. But it's a miracle drug, and people don't realize that niacin, whoa, niacin is another one of those vitamins, B6.
Hey,
secret little thing for lung health, heart health, niacin. Doctors don't want to tell you because that's one of the most important things to heart health. They want to make a prescription out of the niacin. B6. You can get it in cereal. They say it makes your stomach bleed. That's why people recommend the baby aspirin, but this is just common sense stuff that everybody knows about. I'm not giving any kind of medical advice here. I don't try cocaine. I don't do cocaine. I don't want to do anything that makes me addicted. I'm not a person who would like a physical addiction. I was born addicted to cigarettes. When I was born, I was the most alert baby in the entire nursery, my mother said. And even the nurses were saying, why is this kid looking all around? What they didn't know is I was jonesing for a cigarette. Because my mother smoked 10 cigarettes a day during her pregnancy. She used to say, David, I didn't smoke a lot of cigarettes during my pregnancy. The doctor told me to cut back, so I only did 10 a day. No, I'm not into Clay Aiken or anything like that. Thank you. You look great. Thank you. You look great.
I look funky, but
you look marvelous. No, it's fine. It's okay.
I did not. Well, I heard something about that, Bish, but I don't really pay attention to that.
A space goddess.
So.
We're on Encyclopedia. I had no idea. I don't even track all all the negative and positive stuff that's out there on the internet. It's growing so quickly I can't even keep track of it. You look fabulous, David. Thank you. That's sweet of you. Well, wherever I go, people say, there goes David Jingleheimer Sponheim.
Oh,
Smith.
I should take niacin then, huh?
Well, niacin's really good for the heart. And Sarah, go change. It is kind of a rough look. They clearly can see that you threw something on the front of your shirt. I'm sorry. No, it's okay. Hey, let's
I'll go put on my
my
pink T-shirt that everybody loves so much.
This is great. Let's just leave the screen here. I open it up. Come on in. Oh no, we've got two screens going. Okay. Okay, my votes went great. I got 4,000 plus votes. Unfortunately, the other guys, the competitors, cheated. They took half my signs away and all of my big signs within a day of putting them up. So I really got slammed and they cheated. So very metallic, I know. Jonathan, be nice to Bish. We don't want to get anyone upset here. Oh, there you are.
Okay,
see, you've got a light. See that people like that. It's the white cotton group here. This is much better. Rodney, I don't know. I've not seen a video that Bish made of me. We have the Candy Rain.
Conrad, smoking is bad for you.
We have the Candy Rain video, and she is the reigning first Sponheim girl that ever existed in our show, and I should play that for you.
Do I really care to look at that, though, Bish?
Yeah, see, we don't look at any negative or positive stuff. We try to stay focused on what we're doing.
I didn't know that was for famous people. I thought that was just like, I don't know.
Yeah, we're not trying to make a big deal about this. Let's see, the Sponheim girl. I'm going to play Candy Rain. And maybe, Bish, you want to do something like this, because Candy Rain did this in 2008.
That's because I used to do push-ups.
Hi, I'm Candy Rain. Are you a voter? And are the two choices running for president right now not appealing to you in any way whatsoever? Then you are in luck. America, we now have a third-party choice. David John Sponheim. Please visit www.americasthirdparty.com. And when that time comes for you to vote, write in David John Sponheim for president. Our future. You will not be disappointed.
I'm David John Sponheim, and I endorse this message. All right, that was Candy Rain, everybody.
Yeah, we want you to make one.
Yeah,
definitely.
Go ahead, definitely,
yes, because we're not famous enough. I mean, you're famous.
Yeah, people like you are in that book. We're not even near. We're not in this for personal gain. We're not like a lot of people who are on the internet. We're just trying to do the right thing as Americans,
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be fun, I know. It'll help promote us, and be sure to mention americasthirdparty.com.
Right.
Thank you. So everybody can get involved. I don't care, Utah Dave. I mean, it doesn't matter at this point. Seriously, they said that the blackface video would be a bad idea, and look at how successful I am with it. No one really knows anything now. I'm not in the ether. I'm not channeling with anyone here. I'm here in temporal flesh and body, carnal flesh and body, if you will. I never had sexual relations with anyone in the White House, not even Hillary. David is a loser? Oh, excuse me. You're a cheater. You're one of those people that stole my signs. You need to go bye-bye. I'm not really here to discredit anybody here, so why don't you talk about positive things? I'm a winner, and gosh darn it, people like me. Can I move?
Yeah, go ahead.
We got a chat over Chantango going on. Let me see if I can get that up. We are in the anti-war rally mode, by the way, and we're going to talk about a surgical strike on Iraq in just a bit. Which they are going to do, which I suggested we should do 6 weeks ago. But whatever. I can tell you that we are seeing a president do things 6 or 7 weeks behind schedule, which is causing a lot of potential damage and collateral damage to innocent lives. I don't like that fact that he's so slow at making decisions. He's not what you think he is. Anyway, here's my my clip I want to play you, Stuart Smalley.
Because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
Is that in Dropbox?
No, it's in video bank.
Oh,
Smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me.
People like me.
Because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. All right, thank you everyone for watching that video. I know it was difficult. That guy went on to become a senator in Minnesota. Yeah, they were really hard. We need more blackface. Yes, you guys are craving it. It's coming October 31st. I'm working on the 30-second advertising video that'll be playing ahead of time. I've got my whole shtick going on. We got a couple new things happening that are going to be really amazing. The blackface video that I'm going to be doing on October 31st by myself, without Sarah, because she's not involved in blackface, it's strictly me. I am going to be blowing you away. I got some major things happening. I'm hoping to get a desk for the entire shtick, where I sit behind the desk, like at the White House. It's gonna be cool, and I've got a lot of props too. Like I'm trying to replicate what Reggie Love's hair looks like. So I've got it like a skull mask of his hair, and I'm going to try to put it above me at any given time and kind of have it bounce around in my lap whenever, you know. Well, I'm just not in the mood to talk to Michelle. Reggie, could you come on in? And then he'll come on in, and then the hair will start bouncing right here. It'll be hilarious. Yeah, I'm a little upset that we've got a homosexual president who's a Muslim who doesn't have any legal status as a citizen. But hey, what led us to this? But mindless hatred for each other. We should all just get together and talk. What do you say? Wouldn't it be great? Oh my God, he knows. I know. I know.
Congratulations, Jeff.
What's the topic tonight?
It's story.
Congratulations. Jeff sold the story.
The topic tonight is, it's an anti-war rally. We're working on peace instead of war.
And one of the problems is we are so hooked on a government that is basically out to be the policeman to the world that we have forgotten what this really is. Our country should be dedicated to America, not policing the world. And many people think this could be the work of...
Could it be Satan?
Very likely is. Yeah, Satan has somehow invaded the Pentagon, everyone. And yes, you have the first gay president.
No, Sarah's not pregnant. She's just sitting with her stomach out.
No, if anything, I'm pregnant with just food. I ate a half a pound of Pacific salmon and a half a pound of Atlantic cod. I feel like I just traveled across the country in my stomach. It's weird. Now that's just not appropriate, Bish. You know you'll never get near me. Please stop talking that way. This is a political chat show, and surely you have rights. How do we feel tonight about the government putting us deeper into a conflict in Iraq? Are you all guys? Is everybody on track? Because I'm kind of okay with the idea of at least stopping the Sunni forces from breaking Iraq down again. But when you find out that the Sunni forces have been getting training from ISIS forces, which have been getting training from the CIA, thank you, Naomi. Answered the question as to why did we go into Vietnam other than heroin. No one can ever answer the question of why did we go into Afghanistan other than opium and heroin. No one can really answer the question why we went into Iraq other than oil or the petrodollar, which is probably why we went into it. We never even got the oil in Iraq. So what do you say we spend our time tonight trying to make sense of all this and trying to get some oil out of Iraq? What do you say? I'm going to bring up the Iraq map so we can take a look at what's going on. Yeah, it's pretty weird the way that our nation doesn't seem to understand that they do have a tremendous amount of oil in Iraq and possibly could easily supply us with the necessary oil to pay back the debt that they owe us. And believe me, they owe us a debt. We're losing Iraq right now, and it seems like there's no real rhyme nor reason to what's happening. Our UAVs have been taken by Iran. There's a UAV that landed safely, ironically, in Iran, in Tehran 2 years ago. Lockheed Martin could not explain and made no public statement as to why that landed and why they have a copy of one of our UAVs. Iran, it would be aiding ISIS. Sure, I believe that. Utah Dave. It doesn't surprise me. ISIS could very well be CIA too. We're still concerned about all of that. We got scandals brewing, coming up with Hillary Clinton and her ridiculous gay scandal. The Globe reported. Will she make a viable candidate for 2016? It's real questionable. Yeah.
No, this is not a screenshot of Skyrim. This is a cemetery.
It's a cemetery. We got a lot of problems emanating mostly from this group right here. The CIA has been running our foreign policy for the past few decades, and they don't seem to make any sense. It's like they want to create war.
They save a nation.
So I think a lot of people are concerned about their meddling in the affairs, Council of Foreign Relations, Trilateral Commission meddling in the affairs to create war. What is war good for anyway? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. So basically, they're going to turn the planet into this.
Thanks, Rodney.
That's their future. The future planet of Earth will be this. This is actually, believe it or not, a real picture in a lake. A petrified animal in a lake in Africa. It's the most alkaline lake in the world. It is literally anything that touches it dies. We could have that
as our background.
Yeah, we could. I don't know if it's a good background though. We're here.
Well, it's appropriate for tonight.
Is it?
I mean, isn't it just as appropriate as a
cemetery?
As a cemetery.
Okay, well I could bring it in. Sure.
Chuckleheads Charlie says they create war so we make more weapons using our tax dollars. The companies that are invested in the weapons companies run our country.
Yeah, true. Carpet bombing, Lil Roddy. At this point, surgical strikes are necessary. We're going to take a look at the ISIS forces, the ISIL forces that were embedded there. By the way, this isn't just something that popped up, in case some of you are wondering. The situation in Iraq has evolved rather rapidly over the past 2 years, 2 to 4 years actually. And Sunnis, rebel troops have been gaining ground, and we haven't been there to help out, and now Obama's bringing troops in, which is not exactly the best move either.
I don't know. David has to click on the picture.
Okay, hang on.
Oh, it was taken back in 2008. I had very short, curly hair. I know it looks like it's from the 80s because I had funky glasses and different things.
I'm just going to leave the picture like this. We'll take a look at Iraq tonight. ISIS is another cult of Muslim nutters. Do they deserve an attack? Yes, I don't think we should get involved, though. Night Fox, this is the deal. If we don't step on and right now perform what should have been done 6 weeks ago, is a surgical strike against those Sunni forces, Prime Minister Maliki will not have enough time to properly migrate to ground force ready status. He needs to work with at least 1,000 or more men in that region to get to the point where they can secure the dam that's been taken over by the Sunnis and the cities that have been taken over by the Sunnis. American troops should not be deployed at this point. We should use surgical strikes and assist Maliki. And then once we have this under control, we need to get the CIA to wear some really tight underpants and take some lie detector tests, because what's happening is these guys, they got their balls out and they're doing whatever they want. We've got groups like JSOC, Joint Special Operations Command, which have been doing targeted strikes. Bring it in. Grab it. No, this is what you do. You don't just...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. When you get a video, you just don't look at it. You actually bring it into the show. Sarah likes to just sit there and look at it. Whoa! What is it good for? Absolutely nothing, yeah. Yeah. That met the 23-second Digital Copyright Millennium Act requirements, thank you. Okay, you guys are in love with Bish. Guess 222. Are you fishing for a date with Bish? Yeah, just look at his cockiness, exactly.
Sarah doesn't get high.
Sarah's never smoked marijuana once in her life. Oh, you so happy, Rodney. Why don't you go find a young lady in the area who can give you a reach around or something, you know, and stop coming in here for your sex life. Oh, me love you a long time. We are in love with Sarah. They are in love with you. See, they can't. You're the.
Aren't you in love with David?
You're the. No, it's okay. I could just be the eye candy for the gay guys here because you're obviously all into me. And women like me too, right? I am heterosexual, in case you're wondering. I don't know. I get all these guys that say, "You seem gay." No, you seem like you're gay, and you're hitting on me, who happens to not be gay.
Siren C is into you.
Okay.
And Bish is totally into you.
Thank you. Whatever. I'm not here. This is not some sort of a popularity contest. We are actually at the verge of war. What is it good for? So many people would argue that this area could have been contained. Actually, I'm the only one who's arguing that. This area could have been contained properly with the right infrastructure. And when you go to our website, americasthirdparty.com, we still have that same plan for Iraq that we would still like to see happen. We are convinced that this is probably the worst plan we've ever seen, just letting the entire situation go to pieces. What I would have done is build a rail line down the middle that would have given us the ability to transport supplies in and oil out. This rail line would be protected by a fence. The white lines are the fence, and the rail line is the rail line. And we could provide immediate assistance, and any kind of supplies would be delivered right to Baghdad, a city of 27 million people. No, I don't believe ISIS incident could mirror Somalia. I think it could mirror Lebanon. If Barack Obama doesn't arm the people going in, and he gives them rubber bullets like Ronald Reagan did in Lebanon, and 217 men died, Marines died in that event, it could be like worse than Somalia. Somalia was, what, 17 men? This could be even worse. Yeah. I don't know. We don't expect Rodney to call in. He's, you know, sometimes it's a weekend. He's not feeling, you know, 100%. We don't expect anybody to be calling in at any given time. Well, Obama is doing everything a day late and a dollar short. Peace in the Middle East can be attained, but what I proposed, and this is why this whole plan of the rail line is on our website, I propose building weapons-free safe zones right outside of the major cities, little circles that would have provided, and these areas could be outside the area of the war itself, in areas that are protected. These enclaves could provide safety and security to people in cities like Mosul, Tikrit, Fallujah, where they would be safe havens and completely free of any weapons. Now, the weapon.
Fallujah is a really big city.
It
so
is.
You're talking about outside of Fallujah, correct?
Yeah, outside. I'm not talking about Fallujah. I'm not talking about Baghdad. I'm talking about outside of the city where people grow things, where there's more fertile land, and we can protect that because that's the lifeblood of any nation, and we can ensure that they have some sort of a production cycle for food. If we don't do that, we can't possibly fulfill our obligation to at least protect the populated regions. Your primary, you don't have a segment, Rodney. You call in whenever you want, man.
7:30 p.m. Pacific.
You call in whenever you want. I have no problem.
10:30 p.m. Eastern.
I'm opening the door on discussing things with you, Rodney, because I think the people want you. I felt the pulse of the room.
Carly Flynn.
Carly didn't like you. Carly was our biggest donator, and we lost her. But it wasn't because of you. It was because of... Hey, good, Rodney. How you doing? It's me.
That's true. It was because of him.
The Hopper. You know, it was because of him, and we didn't realize how upset Carly was at the time that we allowed a known liar who professed to be a military operative, violating the Stolen Valor Act, to come into our show, and she was extremely upset. That was the real problem. But she didn't like you too, Rodney. That was just the thing. You know, we shouldn't have any bans right now at all, HU2. I'm amazed you're being banned. You may be IP banned by Vaughn. Well, I'm not sure if Rodney is VP material.
Okay, I'll go do it, PC Doc.
We're considering him for our administration.
Okay, I'm broadcasting over there at PC Doc. Boom, like that.
We are in there now. Where do we go? We went into it.
Just cast.
Just cast? No kidding. And Justin is closing down. You heard about that? Thank you, Bob Ultra.
Yeah, sure. Ask him to stop by.
So we want to make little hearts, you know, like peace signs, little hearts, little peaceful places for people to live. Special places that are protected with high technology, laser defense barriers, you name it. All kinds of potential thermographic detection capabilities that look at any explosives coming in. And these areas will prevent anyone from bringing any fuel in as well. No gas is allowed in. So these areas will run on solar power. We'll have modular villages around the gardens and the farms that are growing food. And we'll build an automated barrier that we won't need have a lot of people there. We just need the Army Corps of Engineers initially working with Iraqi Army officials, and we can build these things and get them secure so that there won't be loss of life in Iraq. We'll be able to mitigate that. Now what this is an advancement of what I believe the Harry S. Truman containment policy was in the 1940s. It's not the Kissinger policy of low-intensity conflict that he promoted back in the 1970s. We've seen that play out with all kinds of little firestorms starting around the world. All of that can be traced to Henry Kissinger's low-intensity conflict formula back in '77. Trilateral Commission formulated this plan. I'm against it. It never made sense long-term. We need some containment for the populated regions, and the other areas we can't solve. We can't solve the fish hook along the Afghan-Pakistan border. It's too difficult to guard. The logistics are not there for our troops to get the necessary supplies to keep their space secure. All right. So protecting the populated regions will be the primary focus. Winning the war, there's no winning the war here. There's no, so get that in your mind. This is an ongoing dilemma that is proven over the past 9 to 10, 12 years in this entire region to be unsolvable, partly due to the rough terrain, partly due to the fact there's not a lot of resources there, and clearly oil is the best thing we could do. To buy the oil from Baghdad would help Maliki immensely. Just a year and a half ago, ExxonMobil began shutting down operations in north of Baghdad, leaving Maliki with no improvements. Really, the entire refineries there are still Saddam Hussein level refineries, and we've never seen an advancement of the oil production facility. So I do believe oil is a solution we could actually work with Maliki on. But to abandon Maliki like Obama did, that was horrible. Sarah is super stunning. Thank you. Yeah, and we don't want to go after oil if it means blood. Seriously, if we can't do this safely and securely in an automated way, I don't want to send troops in. I want a minimal. The Army Corps of Engineers would be the only troops we bring in with enough security to maintain their safety and fulfillment. And the process can be completed perhaps within 6 months or possibly 6 weeks, depending on how fast they can lay rail. I'd have to talk to the military advisors about their portable rail system to see how fast they could deploy it, but 6 weeks to 6 months seems like the timeline. And once we have a secure rail line, we have a guaranteed supply line of oil out and food and supplies in. We don't.
I know. I just ended it.
All right, so that's our creative solution for Iraq. I did support the airstrike 6 weeks ago, so yes, I'm amazed it took Obama this long to finally realize what was going on. End of questions. Does this mean we want to start a war there? No, no. This is a containment policy. This is a long-term strategy. I don't have access to military advisors right now, no, but once I talk to military advisors, except through blogs, I frequently blog in military chat rooms, and I've talked about this idea just to find out what they think. Many people don't even acknowledge the blog, so. But I will certainly discuss this with the top brass in order to find out if it's doable. Yeah, it could be World War III, David Nation, but we may very well be in World War III. When all is said and done, let's be clear. George W. Bush actually started the Coalition of the Willing, 45 nations, shock and awe. I mean, that's a world war right there, right? So it's possible we've been at World War III for about 12 years now, 12 or 13 years, and we didn't know it. It's funny, that's what World War II turned out to be. remember World War I? It wasn't called World War I. It was called the War to End All Wars. It was never going to be another war afterward. And then when World War II came along, World War I got the title World War I. So here we are, 13, 14 years out of the shock and awe period. I'm beginning to think we're in the middle of World War III and we don't even know it. Hey there, buddy, how you doing? Get a job. So how's the lovely Sarah? It was called the Great War. Yeah, that's right, the Great War. The war to end all wars. Thank you. You are correct, sir.
Yes.
Third Party Live, we're partying.
1798. Awesome.
Okay, so the stock market took a tip up of 185 points on Friday.
Yay! Sorry.
She thinks she's invested like $50 in the stock market, so she wants to make some money in the stock market. All right, whatever. But yeah, go for it.
I have what's called an index fund.
I know. Your 401k went up $8. Yay! But the stock market dropped 600 points the week prior.
I know. Ooh.
So we're gonna.
Ouch.
I don't really feel like it's going to be a big bonanza coming up from here. I just feel like we're cresting. I keep saying that. Of course, I said that around when the stock market was 12,000, and I said it was when it was 15,000. I said it was cresting. When it got to 16,000, I said it was cresting. Then when it's almost 17, and then right over 17. I don't have a 401k. I don't have any investments at all. Isn't that great? I don't make any money on my investments because I don't have any investments. Of course, anybody with under 20,000 in a checking account or in a local savings account isn't making any money to report to the IRS anyway because there's no interest capital coming out of those checking accounts or savings accounts.
David, why is Obama so slow?
Because he's listening constantly to his advisors. When he wakes up in the morning, it was like, well, make no mistake about it.
And then every once in a while he says, maybe I'll go listen to David Sponheim. And then he's like, oh, we should put airstrikes in Iraq because David Sponheim said so.
He's been
and then David Sponheim says, you shouldn't do that.
Well, then I said it was almost too late. But I'm still in favor of the operation that's going forward. I just want to make sure there's no collateral damage.
Somebody said
They'll
you're
just print more
invested in
money.
me and I'm your best investment.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's true. It's very true.
And you're my best investment.
We're both our best investments at this point. Together we make a bigger difference than if we were apart. I found a show right now, and you wouldn't even be here. You know, you'd want to see blackface nonstop, like on my October 31st.
Oh, really? If it was just you? Shouldn't it just be your show? I could just leave and not do the show anymore. I'm just kidding.
Well, if you did, I don't think I'd have many viewers. I think people would just say, oh, there's that windbag talking, and there's no girl in the picture. So.
Conrad got the mail. Thank you. I'm glad you got it, Conrad.
The most expensive dinner I ever took Sarah to, I took her to a steak dinner at Applebee's. And I think I spent a total of $40 for the two of us.
That was good dinner.
That's the most expensive dinner.
You also took me to...
That's kind of funny.
The most memorable I remember was, I love this cream of broccoli soup.
I agree, guess 149.
I was sick this one time. David came to visit me when we weren't living together. And I was really, really sick. And he took me out to get some cream of broccoli soup at Marie Callender's.
Yeah.
And then...
That was good.
And then David made me tea.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
I made tea for Sarah, and